In 1958, a bulldozer operator in California stepped out of his machine and froze. Right there in the mud were footprints. Not animal, not human. Each print was 16 inches long, too big for any man, too human for any animal. That day, the name Bigfoot was born. But the strange part? This was not the first time people had seen it. And it would not be the last. For hundreds of years, hunters, campers, soldiers, police officers, and even children have all reported seeing the same thing. A tall, hairy creature walking on two legs, watching from the trees. And many of them still say, "I know what I saw." So the question is simple. Is Bigfoot a myth, a mistake, a hoax, or is there something in the forests that we still do not understand? Before the name Bigfoot ever existed, long before cameras, long before newspapers, long before the internet, Native American tribes across North America already spoke about a creature in the woods. They did not call it Bigfoot. They called it Sasquatch. The word Sasquatch comes from the Coast Salish language. It means wild man of the woods. These stories were not jokes. They were serious warnings passed down for generations. The tribes described a tall, hairy being that lived deep in the forest. It walked like a human, but was not human. It avoided people, but sometimes watched them from a distance. Some tribes believed it was a spirit. Some believed it was an animal. Some believed it was a lost race of people. But what is important is this. These stories existed hundreds of years before modern sightings. How could different tribes, who never met each other, describe the same creature? The first written reports. In the 1800s, European settlers began writing about strange encounters in the wilderness. Newspapers from the 1800s describe wild men seen in forests, giant footprints found in snow, hairy figures running across rivers, creatures stealing food from camps at night. These were printed in real newspapers, not fiction books. Many people laughed at the stories, but the reports kept coming, over and over, from different places, from different people, with the same description. Tall, hairy, walking on two legs. The day Bigfoot got its name, 1958. In Bluff Creek, California, workers were building a logging road. One morning, they arrived and saw huge footprints in the mud around their equipment. At first, they thought someone was playing a prank, but the prints kept appearing, every morning. Too large to be human. Too human to be a bear. A local newspaper reporter published the story and called the creature Bigfoot. The name stuck, and something strange happened after that. People all across America began reporting sightings, as if they had been seeing it for years, but now finally had a name for it. What witnesses always say. This is where the story becomes very interesting. People who claim to see Bigfoot do not describe a monster. They describe the same behavior. It watches from a distance. It does not attack. It moves quietly. It disappears quickly. It avoids humans. Witnesses often say something else that is hard to explain. They say, "I felt like it was studying me." Police officers, hunters, park rangers, military men, people trained to observe things carefully. Many of them have gone on record saying they saw it, and they still stand by their story. Why would so many people lie about the same thing? The famous Patterson-Gimlin film, 1967. In 1967, two men, Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, were riding horses in Bluff Creek. They had a camera. They saw something near a river. Patterson grabbed the camera and started filming. What he filmed is still the most famous Bigfoot video ever made. The footage shows a tall, hairy creature walking away from them. Then it turns and looks at the camera. That one moment changed everything. Scientists, experts, and skeptics have studied this footage for over 50 years. Some say it is a man in a suit. Others say no human suit in 1967 could move like that. The way the muscles move under the hair, the long arms, the walk. Even today, But nobody has proven it fake, and nobody has proven it real. The footprints that make no sense. Bigfoot footprints have been found for decades. Here is what is strange about them. They show pressure like a heavy body stepped there. They show toe details. Some show mid-foot flexibility like a human foot. They appear in remote places where pranks are unlikely. Scientists who study footprints say something interesting. Faking these prints would require deep knowledge of human anatomy. And many prints were found long before Bigfoot became popular. So who was faking them back then, and why? The sounds in the forest. Many campers report strange sounds at night. Deep howls, wood knocks, like someone hitting trees with a stick, heavy footsteps around tents. Recordings of these sounds exist. Wildlife experts have listened to them. Some say they do not match known animals. But still, no one can say what made them. Why no body has ever been found. This is the biggest argument against Bigfoot. If it is real, where are the bones? Good question. But here is an interesting fact. In deep forests, animal bodies disappear very fast. Scavengers eat them. Weather destroys them. Plants grow over them. Many animal skeletons are never found in the wild. Still, critics say, if Bigfoot is real, we should have found something by now. And that is where the mystery stays alive. The psychology of seeing Bigfoot. Some scientists say Bigfoot is not a creature. They say it is a psychological effect. When humans are alone in deep forests, the brain becomes alert. It starts seeing shapes and movement where there is none. But this theory has a problem. How do hundreds of people describe the same thing? The same height, the same hair, the same walk, over decades. Could Bigfoot be an unknown ape? Some experts have a different idea. They believe Bigfoot could be a surviving ancient ape. There was once a giant ape called Gigantopithecus. It lived thousands of years ago. It was huge, bigger than a gorilla, and scientists believe it walked upright sometimes. What if some of them survived? What if they moved into deep forests where humans rarely go? Is that possible? Or is that just a good story? Here is the truth. Bigfoot has witnesses, footprints, videos, sounds, historical stories, Native American legends, newspaper reports from the 1800s, but no body, no DNA, no proof. So people fall into two groups. Group 1, people are imagining things. Group 2, there is something out there we do not understand. And maybe the scariest thought is this: what if Bigfoot is real? And it is simply very good at avoiding us. Because if a creature can hide from humans for hundreds of years, that means we do not know our forests as well as we think. In 2004, a 911 operator in Washington State received a strange call. A frightened man whispered, "Something is outside my house. It's not a bear. It's walking on two legs." He said he could hear heavy footsteps in the woods. He said his dogs were silent, too afraid to bark. Then he said something that the operator would never forget. "I think it knows I'm watching it." The call was recorded. And this was not an isolated case. Across North America, people living near forests report the same experience. Something watching them from the trees. Modern sightings that police could not explain. Many Bigfoot stories do not come from random people. They come from police officers, park rangers, hunters, soldiers, firefighters, people trained to observe and report facts. In several reports, officers were called because people thought a bear was near their homes. But when they arrived, they saw something else. Tall, standing upright, watching from the woods. And then walking away calmly. Not running like an animal, walking like a human. Some officers refused to write official reports because they feared being laughed at. But years later, many of them spoke anonymously, and they all say the same thing. And it was not a bear. The strange behavior around campsites. Campers often report the same pattern. They feel watched. They hear wood knocks at night. They hear slow footsteps around the tent. Their food goes missing. In the morning, large footprints are found nearby. What is strange is this: the creature never attacks. It just observes, almost like it is curious. Some campers say they woke up at night and saw tall shadows standing between trees, not moving, just watching. Imagine waking up in a silent forest and seeing that. The wood knocking mystery. One of the most common Bigfoot signs is wood knocking. This is when two pieces of wood are hit together to make a loud knocking sound. People in forests have heard knock, 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 and then another knock far away, as if something is responding. Some researchers believe this could be a form of communication. No known animal does this, yet many witnesses report hearing it before or after sightings. Recordings of these knocks exist, and wildlife experts cannot match them to any animal behavior. Government and military interest. This part is rarely talked about. In the 1970s, the U.S. Forest Service reportedly took Bigfoot sightings seriously in some regions. There are declassified documents showing rangers being told how to respond if they encounter unidentified large primates. Some soldiers training in forest areas have also shared stories years later. They said they were told, if you see something strange in the woods, do not chase it. Why would they say that? Is it just caution? Or do they know something we don't? There is no official proof the government studies Bigfoot, but there are strange documents and stories that make people wonder. The intelligence of the creature. Many witnesses say something very unusual. They say Bigfoot does not act like an animal. It acts smart. Examples from reports: it avoids cameras. It hides when people try to approach. It moves silently despite its size. It seems to understand when it is being watched. Hunters say they tried to track it like an animal, and the tracks suddenly stopped, as if it walked on rocks to hide its trail. That is not normal animal behavior. That is planning. Why cameras almost never catch it. We live in a world full of cameras. Trail cameras are everywhere in forests. So why is Bigfoot never clearly captured? Some researchers say something shocking. Bigfoot may recognize cameras. This sounds strange, but hear this. Some animals learn to avoid traps. Some animals learn to avoid humans. What if Bigfoot has learned to avoid cameras? Many trail cams have been found turned away, knocked down, or missing when placed in active Bigfoot areas. Who or what is doing that? Eyewitness stories that change lives. Many people who claim to see Bigfoot say the same thing. It changed me. They become quiet about it. Some refuse to talk about it. Some are afraid people will think they are crazy. One hunter said, "I was hunting deer when I saw it across the river. It looked at me, not like an animal, like a person, and I felt fear I have never felt before." He never hunted in that forest again. These are not people looking for attention. Many of them hide their stories for years. Could there be more than one? If Bigfoot is real, it cannot be just one creature. It would have to be a population, a hidden group living deep in forests, avoiding humans. North America has millions of acres of forests that humans rarely enter. Places with no roads, no cameras, no people. Could something live there unnoticed? Many scientists say it is unlikely. But they also admit, we still discover new species every year, even large ones. The smell witnesses report. A strange detail appears in many reports. People say Bigfoot smells terrible, like rotten eggs, like wet animal fur, like something that has never been washed. This same detail appears in reports from different states, different years, different people. How do they all describe the same smell? The theory that Bigfoot is more human than we think. Some researchers believe Bigfoot may not be an ape. They think it could be a distant relative of humans, a branch of human evolution that survived in forests. That would explain walking on two legs, human-like feet, intelligence, curiosity, avoiding humans. But if that is true, then Bigfoot is not a monster. It is something very close to us, and maybe that is why it hides. The fear of the unknown. Here is what makes Bigfoot different from other legends. This is not a story from one village. This is not a myth from one culture. This is a pattern of sightings, sounds, tracks, and stories across hundreds of years, describing the same thing, but still, no proof. And maybe that is the most frightening part, because if Bigfoot is real, then there is a creature in our forests that understands us and chooses to stay hidden. If Bigfoot is real, why has nobody captured one? Why is there no body, no clear photo, no bones? For many people, the answer is simple: because Bigfoot is fake. But here is where the story becomes strange. For over 60 years, scientists, hunters, and investigators have tried very hard to prove Bigfoot is a hoax. They wanted to end the mystery. Instead, they found things they could not easily explain. The hoaxes that damaged the story. Bigfoot's biggest enemy is not science, it is hoaxes. Over the years, many people have faked Bigfoot evidence for attention and money. Some examples: people carving large wooden feet and stamping fake tracks, men wearing gorilla suits and running through forests, edited photos, fake hair samples sent to researchers. These hoaxes made the public laugh at Bigfoot stories. And this is important, because when real witnesses speak, people remember the hoaxes and stop listening. This damaged the credibility of many honest reports. The man who said he faked the 1958 footprints, years after the famous 1958 footprints that gave Bigfoot its name, a man named Ray Wallace, claimed it was all a prank. He said he used carved wooden feet to make the tracks. Many people accepted this as proof that Bigfoot was fake. But here is the strange part. Experts later studied the original prints and said some of the prints found in that area showed details that would be very hard to fake with wooden feet: toe movement, weight pressure, mid-foot bend, like a real foot. So the question became, did Wallace fake all of them? Or did he fake some, and real prints were also there? Nobody knows. Scientists enter the investigation. In the 1970s and 1980s, some serious scientists decided to study Bigfoot evidence. Not to prove it real, but to prove it false. They examined footprints, hair samples, photographs, sound recordings, the Patterson-Gimlin film. Many expected the mystery to end quickly, but instead, they found something frustrating. The evidence was not clearly fake, but also not clearly real. It stayed in a strange middle ground. The hair that did not match any animal. Over the years, hair samples believed to be from Bigfoot were collected. These were tested in laboratories. Most of them turned out to be from known animals: bear, deer, cow, human. Samples came back with unusual results. They did not match known animals in the database. Scientists could not identify them. They did not say it was Bigfoot. They simply said, "We do not know what this is from." That answer made the mystery worse. DNA testing and a shocking claim. In 2012, a researcher named Dr. Melba Ketchum claimed she had done DNA tests on Bigfoot samples. She said the results showed Bigfoot could be a mix between human DNA and an unknown primate. This shocked the Bigfoot world. But the scientific community rejected her work. They said her study was not properly reviewed. They said her methods were questionable. So again, the evidence did not settle anything. It only created more arguments. The problem with the Patterson-Gimlin film. For over 50 years, experts have tried to recreate the creature in that film using suits. Many have tried, but they struggle to copy. The muscle movement under the hair, the long arm length, the natural walk, the way the foot bends. Some Hollywood costume experts said a suit like that would have been nearly impossible to make in 1967. Others say it is still just a man in a suit. But here is the key point. Nobody has ever recreated that walk perfectly. Why no one has captured one? Many people ask, if Bigfoot is real, why hasn't anyone shot one or captured one? Here are some answers researchers give. It lives in very remote areas. It avoids humans very well. It may be very rare. People who see it are often in shock and do not react fast. Some witnesses say they did not want to harm it. Hunters who carry guns say something strange. They say when they saw it, they froze, as if their brain did not understand what they were seeing. Famous skeptics who changed their minds. Some researchers started as strong skeptics. They wanted to laugh at the idea. But after interviewing many witnesses, they changed their tone. Not to believers, but to something in between. They began saying, "I don't think all these people are lying." Statement. Because it means the mystery is not simple. The psychological explanation starts to fail. Skeptics say Bigfoot sightings are imagination. But psychologists admit something. Mass imagination usually changes over time. Details become different. But Bigfoot descriptions have stayed almost the same for over 100 years. Tall, hairy, 2 legs, human-like walk. That consistency is hard to explain as pure imagination. The question nobody can answer. After decades of hoaxes, tests, research, and arguments, we are left with a strange situation. Bigfoot has too many witnesses to ignore, too many hoaxes to trust, too much evidence to laugh at, too little proof to accept. It sits in a place where no one can win the argument. The mystery gets deeper. People tried to prove Bigfoot fake. They failed. People tried to prove Bigfoot real. They failed. And that is what keeps the story alive. Because Bigfoot lives in the one place humans hate the most: uncertainty. Every year, people go missing in forests. Some are found. Some are never seen again. Search teams often say the same words. It is like the person vanished. No tracks, no signs of struggle, no explanation. And in some of these strange cases, witnesses later report something else. They say they heard strange knocks in the woods. They say they felt watched. They say they saw something large moving between the trees. And this is where the Bigfoot mystery becomes uncomfortable. Because some people believe Bigfoot and missing people might be connected. The missing 411 cases. A former police officer named David Paulides began studying strange missing person cases in national parks. He found patterns that disturbed him. People disappear near forests or rocky areas. Tracking dogs lose the scent suddenly. Weather changes quickly during searches. Some victims are found in places already searched. Some are found without shoes or clothing removed. Paulides never directly says Bigfoot is responsible, but many Bigfoot researchers notice something. These cases often happen in areas with frequent Bigfoot sightings. Is that a coincidence or something more? No one knows, but the pattern exists. Witnesses who say Bigfoot showed emotion. Some witnesses report something very strange. They say Bigfoot did not act like a wild animal. They say it showed emotion. Examples from reports: a creature watching a child from a distance but not approaching. A Bigfoot seen carrying what looked like a smaller one, like a parent. A witness who said it looked sad before walking away. People saying they felt fear, but also felt like the creature meant no harm. This is not how people describe bears or wolves. They describe something that feels almost human. The feeling of being watched. This is one of the most common parts of Bigfoot encounters. Before seeing anything, people feel watched. A heavy silence fills the forest. Birds stop making noise. The air feels tense. Hunters say this feeling is different from when animals are nearby. It feels intelligent, like something is studying them. And then sometimes, they see it. Strange disappearances of evidence. Researchers who place cameras, recorders, and trackers in active Bigfoot areas report something strange. Their equipment is moved, damaged, turned around, or missing completely. Bears do not do this carefully. Humans are not known to be in these deep areas. So what is interfering with the equipment? Some researchers say this is the most unsettling part, because it suggests awareness. The theory that Bigfoot knows our patterns. Some experts believe if Bigfoot is real, it has watched humans for a very long time. Long enough to learn what roads are, what campsites are, what cameras look like, how humans behave in forests. Explain why it avoids being seen clearly. It may understand us better than we understand it. Reports from children. Some of the most honest reports come from children. Children who had never heard of Bigfoot described seeing a tall, hairy man in the woods. Parents are often shocked because the child did not know such a story existed. Children do not usually create detailed lies like this. This has puzzled many investigators. Why some native tribes avoid certain forest areas. Some Native American tribes still warn people not to enter certain forest areas at night. They say those places belong to the wild ones. These warnings existed long before Bigfoot became popular in modern culture. These were not stories for entertainment. They were warnings for safety. Why would such warnings exist for centuries? The silence of the forest. Many witnesses say something happens before it. Sighting. The forest becomes completely silent. No insects, no birds, no wind, just silence. Wildlife experts say animals often go silent when a top predator is nearby. But what predator walks on two legs? The idea that Bigfoot is not just an animal. Some researchers believe Bigfoot may be something we have not classified yet. Not fully ape, not fully human, not fully animal in behavior. Something in between. A hidden branch of life that learns survival through staying unseen. And if that is true, it would explain why the mystery has lasted so long. The most disturbing thought. Here is the thought that many people do not like to say out loud. What if Bigfoot is real, and it has been watching humans for hundreds of years, learning from us, avoiding us, and choosing not to interact? That is more frightening than a monster, because that is intelligence. The forest is not empty. Most people think forests are empty spaces of trees and animals. But what if they are not? What if there is something else out there that we have seen but never understood? And maybe the reason we have never proven Bigfoot exists is because it does not want to be found. After hundreds of years, thousands of sightings, footprints, videos, sounds, stories, we are left with one strange truth. Bigfoot is either the greatest hoax in human history or the greatest discovery we have failed to make. There is no middle ground. The strongest argument from skeptics. Skeptics say something very simple and powerful. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. And Bigfoot has no proof. No body, no bones, no clear photo, no captured specimen. They say humans have explored forests for centuries. Hunters, loggers, hikers, drones, satellites, trail cameras. How can a large creature hide for so long? To them, the answer is clear. It cannot. So Bigfoot must be imagination, mistakes, and hoaxes. The strongest argument from believers. Believers also say something simple. Too many people are seeing the same thing, across cultures, describing the same creature in the same way. They ask, how can thousands of people who do not know each other tell the same story? Why do Native American legends describe it long before modern times? Why do footprints show human-like features? Why does the Patterson film still confuse experts? To them, Bigfoot is not a joke. It is an unsolved mystery. What science admits. Science does not say Bigfoot is real, but science does admit something important. We do not know everything about our planet. New species are discovered every year, even large animals. Deep forests, mountains, and caves still hide things. Scientists also admit that human perception is not perfect, but they also admit not all witnesses are liars. So the mystery stays open. The forests humans rarely enter. North America has millions of acres of wilderness. No roads, no cameras, no people for years. If a small population of intelligent creatures live there, could they stay hidden? Some experts say it is unlikely, but not impossible. And not impossible is enough to keep the debate alive. Why the story refuses to die. Most myths disappear over time. Bigfoot has not. Instead, reports continue every year. Modern people, with modern cameras, still reporting the same thing. Never forget what I saw. They remember every detail. The height, the walk, the eyes, the silence of the forest. Many of them gain nothing from telling their story. Some even lose respect for speaking about it. Yet they still insist. The question of intelligence. If Bigfoot is real and intelligent, that changes everything. Because it means a creature has lived beside humans for centuries, without us proving it exists. That would be one of the greatest survival stories in history. The final question. After all the stories, all the evidence, all the arguments, we return to the same question. Is Bigfoot a lie told by thousands of people? Or is it a truth we have failed to accept? Because one of those must be correct, and neither answer is comfortable. Tonight, somewhere in a deep forest, the trees are silent, the wind moves slowly, and maybe something tall and covered in hair is standing between those trees, watching, attacking, not running, just watching. And the most unsettling part? It may have been doing that for hundreds of years. And now, the story ends, but the mystery does not. Bigfoot may be a myth. Bigfoot may be a mistake. Or Bigfoot may be something we have simply failed to understand. Thousands of people say they have seen it. Science says there is no proof, and the forests remain silent. So tonight, as you sleep, ask yourself one question. If Bigfoot is not real, why does this story refuse to die? This is Shadows of History, and the truth is still out there.